This is NZXT's brand new H2 Mini PC. It's their take on a small form factor pre-built PC, and even though it's small, there aren't any compromises here. It's packing the latest Intel or AMD CPU cooled by a 240mm AIO, RTX 5080, and 32 gigs of RAM, all inside of the new H2 Flow case. And this thing has a really sweet design, but more on that later. Now, this video is sponsored by NZXT, and they wanted me to let you know that these pre-built PCs are only available in the US and with limited quantities. So, with that being said, let's check it out. But first, of course, we have to unbox it. So NZXT did a really great job of packaging everything just to make sure that it all arrives in one safe piece. In this box, we have all the accessories, extra wires, power cable, and it looks like they even included the additional AMD kit. So that way, if in the future, we decide that we want to swap out the CPU for an AMD-based CPU, we can still use the Kraken that comes with this build. Wow, okay, this thing is tiny. Here we go, satisfying peel. Then we have to take out all of the packaging material that's inside of here, if there is any. Nothing back there, but look how nicely cable managed that is. NZXT, nice job. I'm guessing the reason why there isn't any additional foam inside of the PC is because, well, everything is already so tightly packed. Hey, so future Driggsy here. That was kinda right. So after taking a look at the design a little bit further, I realized that there's really no risk of any of these components coming loose and banging into one another, including the GPU, because what NZXT did here is they used a little 3D printed support bracket to make sure that that is not going to come loose during transit whatsoever. Okay, back to the video. So I guess we're ready to just plug this baby in and get to gaming. But before we do that, I want to talk about the actual hardware that NZXT used in here first. Now, NZXT went with all off-the-shelf components, so everything in this build can be easily upgraded down the road if you really want to. Although with the components that are in here, I think you're going to be all set for at least 5 years without feeling the immediate need to want to upgrade. The motherboard in this build is the Gigabyte Z890i AORUS Ultra paired with an Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. If you were to go with the AMD version of this PC, you'd be looking at the B850i AORUS Pro with a Ryzen 9800 X3D combo. Both versions come with 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, a godsend in today's market, a 2TB M.2 NVMe, and a Gigabyte RTX 5080 connected by a PCIe Gen 5 riser cable. And this whole PC is powered by a Lian SP850 PSU. But the real star of the show here, in my opinion, is what's housing these components, which is the H2 Flow. It has a nice small footprint of only 181mm wide, 435mm tall, and 263mm deep. So this vertical alignment means it's not going to take up that much space on your desk. And yes, this is meant to be displayed on your desk. Please do not put this on your floor. It has a volume of 20.7 liters, and because of its unique layout, it can actually fit up to a 280mm AIO. This build specifically comes with a 240mm AIO, which is the Kraken Elite 240, and it's definitely going to provide enough cooling for what we have going on here. One of the things I want to point out is that AIOs, especially of this size, are typically reserved for larger builds. In small form factor builds, you're either going to see typically air cooling or a smaller radiator like the 140mm that we saw in the H1 a few years back. So because of this larger radiator, we theoretically should see some pretty good temps under load. Now, yeah, you could certainly argue that there are smaller ITX small form factor cases out there. I'm not saying that this is the smallest, but in my opinion, this case is just the right size to the point where it's small, but it's not that small to where it feels like your components are suffocating. Speaking of suffocating, you'll notice how much of this PC is actually made up of mesh panels. The GPU, power supply, and AIO all have easy access to fresh air. But what I really like about this design is the half glass, half mesh side panel we have going on here, so you get the best of both worlds. You can still see the Kraken's gorgeous display, but we're getting all the airflow still coming in through the bottom. And I don't want to forget about the 220mm fans up top here, so that's going to help exhaust all that hot air directly out the top. And look, I know I mentioned it before, but can we just talk about the beautiful cable management job that NZXT did here? So good. All right, so setting up the PC is pretty much as easy as it gets. But one of the things I do want to point out is that the GPU video out ports are at the bottom of the build. So if you're concerned with bending your cables, you can either use low profile cables or 90-degree adapters. Personally, I didn't have any issues with mine, but I just figured I would point this out. So after plugging in the power, mouse and keyboard, Wi-Fi antenna, pressing the on button, and waiting a good 10 to 15 minutes for Windows to update, we're in. And good news too is there wasn't any bloatware installed on here, just the essentials. So that includes the NVIDIA app for your GPU updates, NZXT Cam, which is responsible for monitoring and controlling your PC's fans and customizing the Kraken's LCD display, and Gigabyte Control Center for your motherboard updates and further RGB customization. And unsurprisingly, given the specs, this thing was able to handle any games I threw at it. At 4K resolution, I saw an average of 109 FPS on Arc Raiders at Epic preset, 73 FPS on Cyberpunk 2077 at Ray Tracing Ultra preset, 96 FPS on Doom the Dark Ages at Ultra settings, and 79 FPS on Black Myth Wukong at Cinematic settings. Again, this is at 4K resolution, and of course without DLSS 4 frame gen turned on. Yeah, from a gaming standpoint, this little thing is a beast. And it's equally as beefy for creating content. So the 5080 is very good at being able to handle 4K 422 10-bit video files. It has dedicated encoders and decoders. So as an example, I have my Resolve timeline here with clips shot at those specs, and you can see that we have instant playback, not only while the playhead is paused, but even while the playhead is moving. And this is without using proxies. These are just straight up files taken from the camera, placed on the solid state drive, and then into the Resolve project. So if you're used to dealing with this type of workflow, with the whole proxy workflow, you know how much of a pain in the butt it can be. You don't have to do that anymore. So rest assured, the H2 Mini PC is a very powerful editing rig. And let's say you wanted to use this as a gaming and streaming PC. Well, there's a dedicated NVENC encoder that's on the 5080, and that's going to enable you to be able to stream at high quality settings without affecting your gameplay's performance. So purely from a performance standpoint, I can confidently recommend this PC if you're looking for a gaming, streaming, and content creation powerhouse that's not going to take up that much space on your desk. Like, not once did I feel like I was at a disadvantage because of its smaller form factor. It performed just as well as any full-size tower would because temps were kept under control the entire time. In fact, the GPU and CPU temps never rose above 80 degrees while under load. So considering the max operating temperature of the 285K is 105 degrees Celsius and the 5080 is 88 degrees Celsius, there's plenty of headroom there. And here at idle, I'm seeing temps hovering around 35 to 40 degrees. Now the mesh design of the H2 Flow coupled with the 240mm AIO is what's letting us keep those temps under control. But another added benefit of this design is the acoustics. I actually noticed that the fans never hit 100% during normal gameplay, and this is just using the default fan curves that come on the H2 Mini PC, so if you wanted to set those to be more aggressive, well, you should be able to see even lower temps there. I will say though, when you hear the power supply fan kick on, you can definitely notice it, but it's nothing to be concerned about. For science though, I wanted to see just how loud the PC would get if the fans were at 100%. With the 4 120mm fans turned all the way up, it honestly wasn't that loud. Like, I would equate it to a small room fan on medium settings. Once I set the GPU fans to 100, yeah, the noise is definitely more noticeable and higher pitched, but I mean, those are smaller fans and that's to be expected. Hopefully though, under normal use, we don't ever have to worry about the fans ramping up to those speeds. And if you're an H1 owner, you know just how loud those fans can get when you push that machine to its limits. So personally, I'm really happy to hear the improvement in acoustics here. All right, so we've talked about the hardware, performance, thermals, and acoustics, and the last thing we have to talk about is the price. So the NZXT H2 Mini PC comes in at $34.99. So no, it's definitely not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. But one of the things to keep in mind with small form factor PCs like this is they tend to prioritize design and efficiency over lower cost. Like, take for example the motherboard that's in here. That by itself costs $299. So if you're a budget first-time buyer, I think you gotta look elsewhere. But if you have deeper pockets, man, this thing would be a killer PC in any setup. Like, I was genuinely impressed by this little thing. Now, really quickly, going back to that $299 motherboard that I just mentioned, I was curious and I went in a PC part picker and I built a new PC, identical specs to this, and come to find out, you'd actually be saving by going with the NZXT pre-built. Genuinely could not believe it. And those prices are as of today, which is February 16th, 2026. Yeah, we're seriously living in a crazy timeline where buying a pre-built is more cost effective than buying all the parts and putting it together yourself. So at this point, maybe you're asking yourself, well, who exactly is this PC for? Well, if you're someone that wants high-end performance yet doesn't want to deal with having a larger tower, like maybe you either have a smaller living space or a smaller desk, or you just simply want a small form factor PC because having all that power in this tiny package is really sick, well, then this is a perfect contender. Also, not that I've personally built a small form factor PC outside of the H1, but going with the H2 Mini PC is just gonna be the easiest option if you want a small form factor build in general. You don't have to worry about how the components fit or dealing with cable management. You're just gonna unbox it, power it on, and get to gaming. Not to mention you also get professional assembly and a 2-year warranty from NZXT, so those are just a few more things that you don't have to worry about. However, if you require large full-size hardware and need that space to be able to expand over time, you're gonna need to look at bigger options, like maybe something built in the NZXT H6 or H9 cases, for example. And I probably don't have to bring this up, but if you're an extreme overclocker, you're gonna want a larger case to be able to accommodate for bigger and more robust cooling solutions, which is something that you just can't squeeze into a small form factor PC like this. So if you decided that this is the way you wanna go, I'm gonna have my affiliate link in the description down below. And if you use that, I get a little bit of a commission back and it makes NZXT happy. And as a reminder, the H2 Mini PC is only available in the US with limited quantities. So if this thing has already caught your eye, I would definitely consider moving on it sooner rather than later before they sell out. Good news though, for those that either live outside of the US or just in general like the look of the H2 Flow and maybe want to move their existing ITX build into one of these awesome cases, you can actually pick it up by itself for $149.99. Anyways, this was a really fun video to make, and if you're still here watching it all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.